Welcome back. In this video, we're talking about intuitive eating and the fear of weight gain. We're going to talk about who this video is for, what I don't agree with in the way that other people talk about intuitive eating and the fear of weight gain, and what I can do to sort of shed a little bit of light on what to expect on your journey with intuitive eating in regards to weight gain, weight loss. What is your weight gonna do? It's true that nobody can tell you for sure, but you'll see what I mean as we dive in. I will also provide some tips on how to manage the anxiety around intuitive eating and weight gain. Really quick before we get started, allow me to briefly introduce myself. My name is Carrie. I'm the creator of Psycho-Spiritual Wellness, and that is a path to stopping compulsive eating rooted purely in psychological and spiritual practices. So no diet advice, no exercise advice. It's all about the inner journey. Psycho-Spiritual Wellness has a lot in common with intuitive eating, but I delve much more into the spiritual side, and I dive much deeper into the intricacies of feeling your feelings. This video is for anyone who maybe has gained weight with intuitive eating. I hope that you find self-understanding and self-compassion through this video. And this video is also for anyone that hasn't yet started intuitive eating because they're afraid of weight gain and that fear is getting in the way of getting started. Now, before we dive into what you can anticipate in regards to weight gain on your unique journey with intuitive eating, I need to vent about what I don't agree with in the way that some people talk about intuitive eating and weight gain, because it usually goes something like this. I can't tell you what your weight is going to do with intuitive eating, and you need to just accept that. I feel like there is a very firm hand in the intuitive eating sphere, a lot of finger wagging. You need to let go of the desire to lose weight, and you need to make peace with the fact that you might gain weight. And I feel like it's very discouraging to the people who cannot let go of the desire to lose weight, even if you want to, even if you deep in your heart and soul want to let go of the desire to lose weight, but you just can't. If people continue to wag their finger and tell you that you gotta do it before you can get started, it's going to stop people from getting started. It's gonna stop people from even giving it a try. And the same with the fear of weight gain. A lot of people say you need to make peace with the fact that you might gain weight. And while I agree that it is very helpful to make peace with the idea of gaining weight with intuitive eating, I think that it is a shame to shame people for being afraid of gaining weight with intuitive eating. So if you're afraid of gaining weight with intuitive eating, I think you are normal. I think it is a normal human reaction to uncertainty, to feel fear and anxiety, and I want you to feel normal. I want you to feel like I want you to know that a lot of people struggle with this fear and that you are not crazy and you are not an outlier because you feel afraid of it. And I don't want this fear to stop you from giving up dieting and listening to your body instead, because there's so much more benefit to eating intuitively than freaking dieting. So with all of that said, with the main theme being you are normal, and if you feel the fear of weight gain, that is okay. We can move forward. We can hold space for this fear and move forward anyway. Now, it is true that nobody can tell you what your weight is going to do when you start eating intuitively. However, there is some amazing science that we can actually look at to give some people a rough idea of what to expect. And what I'm going to dig into is set point weight theory. If you don't know about set point weight theory, I have an amazing article on it. I will link it below. I dove into a ton of clinical studies to help you understand why your body resists weight loss through dieting, why your body loves to maintain its set point weight, a stable weight. Your body has many different settling points. And so when we diet, our body will resist the weight loss because it wants to maintain its set point weight. Now, I will relate all this back to the fear of weight gain with intuitive eating soon, but hang with me for a sec, because there is an abundance of clinical evidence showing that momentary bouts of overeating are followed by a ramp up in metabolism as the body tries to compensate for the extra energy that was ingested. And while this doesn't apply to long-term patterns of overeating, it's proof that your body is highly adaptive and likes to maintain its set point weight. So if you have one day of overeating, you don't need to compensate for it by undereating because your body is going to take care of it on its own. And if you respond to overeating with undereating, your body is actually more inclined to increase its set point weight, to ratchet up to the next settling point, because it does not like it when you respond to overeating with undereating. The article that I linked below shares tons of clinical evidence so that you can dive into the rabbit hole if that is what you choose. Now, this also works in the opposite, where when we undereat, like when we're trying to restrict calories while we're dieting to try and lose weight, the body slows down metabolism so that it doesn't expend as much energy because it wants to maintain its set point weight. And there is an abundance, clinical evidence showing that people who diet through restrictive means gain the weight back. 1/3 to 2/3 of people regain the weight within a year, and almost all weight is regained within 5 years. And in another study, 1/3 of dieters are shown to exceed their baseline weight. And it is so frustrating because dieting is not fun. Nobody likes restricting their diet, and it doesn't even work. Now, how does all of this relate to intuitive eating and the fear of weight gain? The reason why I brought up set point weight theory is because if you are on a diet and you lost weight through restrictive means, and then you start intuitive eating, you're probably going to gain weight. And it's not because of intuitive eating, it's because your body was already primed to rebound from the diet and maintain its set point weight. So, in the people that have seen weight gain with intuitive eating, I wonder how many of them were previously on a very restrictive diet, lost weight through the restrictive diet, got fed up with it because dieting is not fun, and then dove headfirst into intuitive eating and saw the biological backlash of restrictive dieting. And so I mention all of this because this can actually give us somewhat of an idea of what your weight will do once you start intuitive eating. If you just came off a period of weight loss induced by restrictive dieting, you are likely to gain weight when you start intuitive eating, and it's not because of the intuitive eating, it's because your body was already biologically predisposed to rebel against your diet and get back to its set point weight. Now, before I dive into one of my practical tips on navigating the fear of weight gain with intuitive eating, like kind of what you can do to help ease the anxiety, maybe manage weight gain, maybe if it's right for you, we'll see. I want to talk about a common pattern that I've seen in the intuitive eating sphere, which again is very separate from what I do over here with psychospiritual wellness, but there is true overlap between intuitive eating and what I do here. Giving up dieting is the best. Listening to your body is the way to do it. Now, in the intuitive eating sphere, I've heard a lot of rumblings around a lot of people gain weight when they start intuitive eating, and then their weight stabilizes. So there's this general pattern of weight increases and then it stabilizes. And I find that really interesting because in my practice as a coach, I haven't actually seen that much. And in my own process of giving up dieting, that actually didn't happen to me. I did not gain weight when I gave up dieting. And I have no idea what causes this, but here's my theory. In my practice, I really heavily emphasize emotional awareness, emotional tolerance, and addressing emotional eating. That is the core, the foundation. There's so much nuance that goes into feeling your feelings. And my theory is that the people who've been practicing the stop, drop, and feel and have developed emotional tolerance and have gained some footing with being able to stop the desire to overeat with the stop, drop, and feel, those people then go on to letting go of the food rules and giving up dieting, there might not be any weight gain. And I can't say that it's all because of the Stop, Drop, and Feel, because maybe these people also haven't just been on a restrictive diet, and so they're not struggling with the biological backlash of recent diet-induced weight loss. But I wanted to mention that because for some people, diving headfirst into intuitive eating might not be the best first step for you. Because if you have uncontrollable overeating or uncontrollable emotional eating, those aren't going to suddenly go away if you decide to start eating intuitively instead of dieting. Even though intuitive eating is a great idea, for some people it might be too big of a step to be the first step. So for some people, you might just want to start with the Stop, Drop, and Feel. And that leads me straight into my one practical step to help prevent weight gain with intuitive eating. I cannot guarantee that you can prevent weight gain with intuitive eating, and especially if you just lost weight on a restrictive diet, there is no outrunning the biological backlash of dieting. Your body needs to get back to its set point weight, and then you can find balance from there. But if you're not coming off recent diet-induced weight loss, here's what you can do to help manage potential weight gain with intuitive eating. Focus on emotional eating. Focus on emotional skill building with the Stop, Drop, and Feel. The Stop, Drop, and Feel encourages you to train in sitting with the very edgy emotions that sprout up in the precise moment that you want to eat without hunger. And it's a tall order. It's very difficult. But when we sit with those feelings, even for just 2 minutes a day, we get better at feeling them. And this increases what I call emotional tolerance. And so it is my theory that people with higher levels of emotional tolerance who then give up dieting and dive into intuitive eating don't see much weight gain because there is less overeating and less emotional eating. Now, is this a foolproof method? Absolutely not. Can this help everyone prevent weight gain? Absolutely not. But from what I have seen, I think it can definitely help. And so for this video, I would love you to leave me a comment. Please share with me your experiences with giving up dieting and weight gain, weight loss, weight stability, what happened for you on your journey. I would love to know. This video of all, I would love feedback. I would love for you to share your story, so leave me a comment down below. In summary, here's what I hope you walk away from this video with. One is a sense of normalcy, knowing that if you're afraid of weight gain with intuitive eating, you are normal. That is a normal human response to uncertainty. 2, if you're coming off of a period of weight loss induced by restrictive dieting, you're probably going to gain weight. And it's not because of intuitive eating, but it's because your body was already primed to gain weight in rebellion to the diet because your body wants to maintain its set point weight. And 3rd, you can give yourself a huge helping hand with intuitive eating and finding a stable weight and a peaceful relationship with food by focusing on emotional skill building with the Stop, Drop, and Feel. Again, my name is Carrie, and I will see you in the next one.